Americans believe a lot about immigrants, and most of it is completely wrong. We hear these sound bites on the news, see them in angry social media comments, and after a while they just become facts. But they're not. They're myths, repeated so often we stop questioning them. These myths shape our policies and have real consequences for millions trying to build a better life, just like our own ancestors did. Today, we're breaking down the 5 biggest immigration myths, and trust me, the last one will shock you. Let's get into it. Let's start with the classic myth. Immigrants don't pay taxes. The reality? Immigrants, documented and undocumented, contribute over $492 billion in taxes every year. Every time they buy something, they pay sales tax. Over 10 million are homeowners, paying property taxes that fund local schools. And yes, even undocumented immigrants pay income taxes, often through an IRS-issued ITIN. They pay into Social Security and Medicare, programs they'll likely never benefit from. In fact, undocumented immigrants alone pay nearly $12 billion a year in state and local taxes. They're funding the system, not freeloading from it. The idea of the tax-dodging immigrant isn't just a myth, it's a slander that ignores hundreds of billions in contributions. So next time you hear this myth, remember, immigrants are paying for the roads, schools, and services we all use. Let's move on. Next up, they're taking our jobs. The truth? Immigrants often fill jobs with major labor shortages. Agriculture, construction, elder care, roles many Americans don't want. The U.S. has millions more job openings than people looking for work. Immigrants help fill that gap. They're also twice as likely to start businesses as native-born citizens. Think Google, Tesla, and countless local shops. Immigrants are job creators, not job takers. And when they earn money, they spend it, fueling local economies and supporting even more jobs. The economy isn't a zero-sum game. Immigrants help bake a bigger pie for everyone. So when someone says immigrants are taking jobs, the real story is they're keeping industries afloat and creating new opportunities. They're not the problem, they're part of the solution. Let's keep going. Next myth. Here's a big one. Immigrants get free government benefits. In reality, undocumented immigrants are barred from almost all federal benefits. No welfare, no food stamps, no Medicaid, no Social Security. Legal immigrants usually have to wait 5 years before they can even apply for most benefits. Refugees and asylees get limited, temporary help, but that's a tiny fraction. Meanwhile, immigrants pay billions into Social Security and Medicare, programs they can't use. The Social Security Administration holds over $1.5 trillion in unclaimed taxes, much of it from immigrants. So, the welfare-seeking immigrant is a myth. They're net contributors, not drains. They fund the safety net but rarely get to use it. Let's bust another myth. When you hear immigrant, do you picture someone here illegally? Most Americans do, but it's wrong. Of the 45 million immigrants in the U.S., about 11 million are undocumented. That means over 75% are here legally. Most are naturalized citizens, green card holders, or on temporary visas, students, workers, investors. The undocumented immigrant is the exception, not the rule. Focusing only on the undocumented distorts the debate and dehumanizes millions who followed the rules. The real story: most immigrants are documented, law-abiding, and deeply integrated into our society. When we get this wrong, it justifies harsh policies that hurt everyone. Knowing the facts changes the conversation. Now for the biggest myth of all. Why can't they just get in line and do it the right way? This is the myth that underpins all the others. The truth? For millions, there is no line. The U.S. immigration system is a maze of quotas, backlogs, and restrictions. Unless you have a close U.S. citizen relative or a rare job offer, there's often no legal path at all. Even if you qualify, waits can be decades. Some family categories have 20-plus year backlogs. Imagine applying in your 20s and getting an answer in your 40s or 50s. For many, waiting in line means waiting a lifetime or never getting in at all. When people face violence or poverty, waiting decades isn't an option. The right way is often a fantasy, not a real choice. The system is broken, outdated, and doesn't match today's realities. So next time you hear, "just do it the right way," ask what line. For millions, it simply doesn't exist. That's the truth. Let's wrap up. Let's recap. The myths about immigrants are just that, myths. Immigrants pay billions in taxes, fill critical jobs, start businesses, and are mostly here legally. They're barred from most benefits and often can't just get in line. These myths hurt real families and fuel a broken system. Now you know the facts. Use them to change the conversation. Share this video so more people understand what's really happening. Which myth surprised you most? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to learn more, subscribe for our next video on the top 5 mistakes that get your visa denied.